Welcome everybody to today's GOT16RD4 Doug Jones League Daily Recap Podcast, brought to you by the good folks at Radio Shack and IS Fans Productions. Get 65 science projects in the new electronics projects kit only at Radio Shack. Hanks at Lot 6 met Plymouth first comers for a 3-game set in Fenway Park in Boston today, playing on grass. Plymouth first comers won the first game over Hanks at Lot 6 by a score of 10-3. Winning pitcher was Newsom, losing pitcher was Ramsey. Hanks at Lot 6 won the second game over Plymouth first comers in a pitcher's duel by a score of 2-0. Winning pitcher was Henry, losing pitcher was Righetti. Bert Blyleven started for Plymouth first comers. Larry Corcoran started for Hanks at Lot 6. Plymouth first comers won the third game over Hanks at Lot 6 in a blowout by a score of 11-1. Winning pitcher was Burba, losing pitcher was Vukovic. Miami Goldfish met Kentucky Mules for a 3-game set in Muehlebach Field in Kansas City today, playing on grass. Kentucky Mules won the first game over Miami Goldfish by a score of 7-4. Winning pitcher was Johnson, losing pitcher was Wakefield. Miami Goldfish won the second game over Kentucky Mules in a squeaker by a score of 4-3. Winning pitcher was Ryan, losing pitcher was Valverde. Ray Brown started for Kentucky Mules. Dolph Luque started for Miami Goldfish. Miami Goldfish won the third game over Kentucky Mules by a score of 4-2. Winning pitcher was Crowder, losing pitcher was Gonzalez. Electric Amish met Rocket Dogs for a 3-game set in Wrigley Field in Chicago today, playing on grass. Electric Amish won the first game over Rocket Dogs in a squeaker by a score of 5-4. Winning pitcher was Ostermuller, losing pitcher was Redman. In the second game before a nice crowd of 26,567 under partly cloudy skies, Mort Cooper pitched a complete game to give Rocket Dogs a 9-2 victory over Electric Amish. Losing pitcher was Males. Electric Amish won the third game over Rocket Dogs by a score of 7-1. Winning pitcher was Wahlberg, losing pitcher was Sorrell. Green Sand Beach met Doug Jonestown Massacre for a 3-game set in Cleveland Municipal Stadium in Cleveland today, playing on grass. In the first game before a small crowd of 38,146 under sunny skies, Burley Grimes pitched a complete game shutout to give Green Sand Beach a 8-0 victory over Doug Jonestown Massacre. Losing pitcher was Losi. In the second game before a nice crowd of 56,972 under sunny skies, Hod Leesenby pitched a complete game shutout to give Doug Jonestown Massacre a 7-0 victory over Green Sand Beach. Losing pitcher was Avery. Green Sand Beach won the third game over Doug Jonestown Massacre in a squeaker by a score of 5-4. Winning pitcher was Santana, losing pitcher was Ward. Webster McDonald started for Doug Jonestown Massacre. Got Bombed Redux met BOD Game of Thrones for a 3-game set in Busch Stadium in St. Louis today, playing on grass. BOD Game of Thrones won the first game over Got Bombed Redux by a score of 5-1. Winning pitcher was Wright, losing pitcher was Steeb. Got Bombed Redux won the second game over BOD Game of Thrones in a squeaker by a score of 3-2. Winning pitcher was Kane, losing pitcher was Burley. Got Bombed Redux won the third game over BOD Game of Thrones in 12 innings by a score of 4-3. Winning pitcher was Johnson, losing pitcher was Martin. Dontrell Willis started for BOD Game of Thrones. Firpo Marbury started for Got Bombed Redux. Baby Got Bat V met Stonehurst Mighty Seasons for a 3-game set in Citi Field in New York today, playing on grass. In a pitcher's duel in the first game before a nice crowd of 30,353 under partly cloudy skies, Bob Feller pitched a complete game shutout to give Baby Got Bat V a 2-0 victory over Stonehurst Mighty Seasons. Feller struck out 12 men, losing pitcher was Hansen. In the second game before a nice crowd of 32,385 under sunny skies, Charlie Leibrandt pitched a complete game shutout to give Stonehurst Mighty Seasons a 7-0 victory over Baby Got Bat V. Losing pitcher was Langston. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons won the third game over Baby Got Bat V by a score of 6-2. Winning pitcher was Sabathia, losing pitcher was Perinoski. Wandy Rodriguez started for Baby Got Bat V. Here are the GOT16RD4 Doug Jones League Day's best performers. Charlie Keller had the best RC performance today for Stonehurst Mighty Seasons in today's third game at Citi Field in New York. He created 2.4 runs on 3 hits. Hod Leesonby had the best game score today for Doug Jonestown Massacre. He scored 88.0. Here are the current standings. In the East Division, Miami Goldfish has a record of 83-76 and has a lead over Plymouth First Comers, who has a record of 80-79. Hanks at Lot 6 has a record of 76-83. Kentucky Mules has a record of 73-86. In the Central Division, Rocket Dogs has a record of 82-77 and has a lead over Baby Got Batvie, who has a record of 79-80. Electric Amish has a record of 76-83. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons has a record of 72-87. In the West Division, Bod Game of Thrones has a record of 95-64 have clinched the West Division. Green Sand Beach, who has a record of 85-74. Got Bombed Redux has a record of 83-76. Doug Jonestown Massacre has a record of 70-89. Here's your GOT16RD4 Doug Jones Injuries Report. For Kentucky Mules, Allen, Dick, out for 4 more days, 3 more games. For Miami Goldfish, Cuttier, Michael, out for 4 more days, 3 more games. For Stonehurst Mighty Seasons, Beltra, Adrian, out for 13 more days, 3 more games. Here are the current batting leaders. The home run leader is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who is 54. The top run scorer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who is 124. The top RBI producer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who is 148. The highest batting average belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who is .312. McGuire, Mark from PFC, has the most runs created at 125.59. The stolen base leader is Morgan, Joe from DJM, who is 51. The most game-winning RBIs is from Schmidt, Mike from SAT, who is 19. The longest current hit streak belongs to Posada, Jorge from CL, who has hit in 9 straight. The longest hit streak belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who hit in 21 straight. Here are the current pitching leaders. The ERA leader is Smoltz, John from MGF at 2.88. The top game winner is Rommel, Eddie from BGO, who has 22. The strikeout leader is Clemens, Roger from PFC, who has 237. The highest number of complete games belongs to Glavine, Tom from GSB, who has 11. Burrell, Mark from BGO, has the most innings pitched at 313.1. The saves leader is Ward, Dwayne from DJM, who has 27. Here's tomorrow's schedule. Baby Got Batvie is at Rocket Dogs in Wrigley Field, 2017-2021, Chicago. Electric Amish is at Stonehurst Mighty Seasons in Citi Field, 2009-2011, New York. Got Bombed Redux is at Green Sand Beach in Huntington Avenue Grounds, 1901-1905, Boston. Bod Game of Thrones is at Doug Jonestown Massacre in Cleveland Municipal Stadium, 1948-1954, Cleveland. Hanks at Lot 6 is at Kentucky Mules in Muhlebach Field, 1937-1942, Kansas City. Plymouth First Comers is at Miami Goldfish in Marlins Park, 2015-2019, Miami. Thanks for listening to today's game. For the best classic fantasy baseball game on the market, visit imaginesports.com. For all your electronic needs, visit radioshack.com. Good night all, and see you soon.
Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner, the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Well, Casey was winning, Hank Aaron was beginning, one Robbie going out, one coming in. Kiner and Midget Goodell, the Thumper and Mel Parnell, and Ike was the only one winning down